I have content inside InDesign, and I need to get it out for uses outside of InDesign. Maybe I want to create a TrueAuthor document. Maybe I want to just get simple text that can be reused somewhere else. Or maybe I want to create HTML. So here we're going to look at the TruEdit Toolbox as it runs inside InDesign. So we'll go ahead and minimize all that, and we'll go into InDesign. I've actually checked out this job from TruEdit. So for those of you that use InDesign, if you've ever gone to the File menu, down to Export and exported HTML, you'll know that the InDesign export of HTML is very simple. And it doesn't produce clean HTML, which is what your web team is typically looking for. So we looked at this and said, well, how can we get more control over this process? And the answer was really something that has existed in InDesign all along, which is XML tags. But if you've ever used XML tags out of the box in InDesign, you know that they're a little bit cumbersome to work with. You have to go ahead and enter in all your tags or import them. You have to map your paragraph styles to those tags. But of course, once you do that and you click OK, you can tag your content. In this case, it's gone and found all of my stories, all of my text, essentially, my text frames, and it's tagged all that content inside of it. So that's pretty good. The problem is I want to get out of InDesign more than just the text. I want to get the images. I want to get the layout, the order of content. And so we can use the TruEdit Toolbox for that. What I'm going to do here, just to show you how this works, I'm going to select all these unused tags and delete them. So we're down here to an empty panel here. Nothing's mapped. And what I've done within InDesign here is I've used the Articles panel to go and grab all of the content that I want to export into my HTML. So I've selected this image as the top item, the headline, the body, and this is very useful because in a layout like this, as we can see, that deck here down below, someone might, if I was just looking at this, I might think that should come after the body copy. But the reality is I want that to come before the body copy. So I can order that here and say, no, that comes, then we get the byline, then we get the body copy. So that when I come to the toolbox and I map my styles to tags, it knows about the article and the name of the article. We can use that when we extract it. And then for each of these objects, it creates a component. And for the images, it's adding the file path and the label, what type of image it is. I've actually attached an attribute. And then we've got the text down below. So now we've got all of our content. So now that we're ready, we can come into Toolbox and we can say, I want my HTML. And that could actually be done all in one step. We could actually say map it and export it. And that mapping is really quite sophisticated. It actually does more than just the literal mapping that InDesign does, because it goes in and it looks for patterns and say, can I find all the body paragraph styles and apply a p tag to them, for instance. And it can be completely customized as well. But basically, in that process, we now have an HTML file and a folder of images, and I had it export an optimized image and the original asset. So if I now open that in my web browser, you can see here that content. We've got that headline image. It's actually attached my CSS to it, so you see there's a little bit of a look and feel here. Got our headline, our deck, our body, all the way down. And you'll notice here, and we're going to come back to that in a moment, we've got this image and caption, and then we've got our sidebar down at the bottom. So we've got that, and if I open up the inspector, for those of you that are really curious, you can see here, this is very clean HTML with divs for each of the components, with classes as we need it, and then the content is tagged inside of that.
And so what about, for instance, if I want to have that image in a different place?
Yeah, so this is another limitation of InDesign out of the box. InDesign out of the box will actually go in and it will order the components. So in my case, if I go to the second spread here, you'll see here I've got this image in the middle of the body copy. But I haven't told InDesign, or I'm not using an anchored object. So InDesign doesn't know when it's tagging it that that image should go at that position in the text. So what's nice is we've got this structure pane over on the left here with all of our tags. So now that it's all tagged content, I can come in here, and I'm just going to put my cursor here in this text, and I can see here that's that second P tag after the H5. All right? So now let's go and grab our image and our caption. Select those. I'm going to drag them up here. And I'm going to say, let's go after that second paragraph. Just drop those right in. So now, when I come back in here, and I export my content again, and of course we're looking at HTML exports, but I think as we showed in another demo recently, we can get PDFs and other things using Toolbox. But now that's re-exported, I can reopen it, and we can see here that image is now in line with the copy at the appropriate point.
Okay, yeah, because that's something we deal with a lot, is that it's not coming out in the order we want, because when you go from print to digital, you sometimes want to rearrange that. Yeah,
and when you're trying to go from an unstructured design environment like InDesign into something structured like HTML, this is a really good way to do it and still retain a lot of the control that creatives do want.